Decision to Leave is the newest film from South Korean filmmaker Park Chan-wook. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. I looked it up.
Park Chan-wook.
Park Chan-wook. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for my horrible pronunciation on a lot of the names from this film. No disrespect to the cast and crew. I just have a horrifically white American understanding of foreign names. So I'm probably going to butcher a lot of these names, and I apologize in advance. Anyways, this film follows Hae-il, a police detective who is tasked with solving the murder of Ki Do-soo, who was found dead at the bottom of a mountain that he frequently climbs. During this investigation, he begins to suspect the victim's wife, Song So-rae. But as the investigation deepens, so does his unsettling and forbidden attraction to her. The film follows Hae-il through the struggles of not only trying to solve a murder, but also battling his inner morality as he begins to fall in love with the prime suspect in his murder case. I would consider myself a pretty big fan of Chan-wook's previous work. I've seen Oldboy, and that's like a classic. And I also really love The Handmaiden. The Handmaiden, I think, is one of, if not the most original and profound romance stories put to film ever. So I was very excited to see this film, but I also was a little anxious because I went in pretty blind. I tried to avoid any reviews and any trailers for this film. I wanted to go in with knowing as little as possible. And let me say that I was not disappointed in the slightest. I think Decision to Leave deserves to be in the same tier and conversations as Oldboy and Handmaiden. Not only is this film just a really good neo-noir detective movie, it's also a genuinely fantastic romance film. There are scenes in this film that are set up with the framework of scenes from like a typical normal romance film. Take like a first date, for example. In a normal romance film, it would just be two people talking and getting to know each other over coffee or something. But in this film, due to the storyline and the dynamics between the two main characters, what would be a conversation over coffee is now a conversation over food that has been provided by the police station while he is interrogating her. So it's just very interesting plays with the dynamics between the characters that I found very interesting and I think worked very well. And it's stuff like that with the writing that stuck out to me and made me really love this film. It is 100% without a doubt a forbidden romance film, just with the backdrop of a detective thriller. It's like if Michael Mann had to adapt a Nicholas Sparks novel, and the mystery aspect of the investigation does not get lost in the heat of the romantic aspect of this film. The two aspects really work together and complement each other throughout the entirety of the film. Not only do I think this film will get Best Foreign Film and probably a Best Picture nod, but I really hope that it gets some recognition for its editing. There are some cuts and scene transitions in this film that should have only worked on paper, but you can tell that everyone on set took the time to be meticulous with how they filmed certain things so that these cuts wouldn't come across as cheesy, and it worked because all of the stuff that happens just is so well executed, and a lot of these edits end up being breathtaking. There were multiple times where my jaw was dropped or I was just shaking my head in disbelief at what I was seeing on screen, and that's not an easy thing to do. Other things that stood out to me were the score and cinematography, but I feel like that's a gimme because this guy made Oldboy, so you know the camera's gonna be rocking and the soundtrack's gonna be mobbing. And the performances here are also Oscar-worthy. Like my two favorite films this year so far are both foreign films, and if that's not saying something, I don't know what is. I thought this movie was stunning. It's heart-wrenching. It's honestly breathtaking. So beautiful. Also, it's incredibly original. I'm going to give Decision to Leave a 5 out of 5. I saw this movie last night with my good buddy Michael. We were talking about it in the car that we both agree that like movies like this really just show you how far behind America and Hollywood are with films in like good cinema. And that's no shade at like the great filmmakers that we do have here in America. I guess what it means really is just like there's so many good films from other places in the world, and if you're not taking the opportunity that you have to watch these great films, you're doing yourself such a huge disservice. We got to see this film in an art house theater here in our city called Rodeo Cinema. If you're in Oklahoma City, check them out. They play some really great indie indie and foreign films very frequently. And so if you live in a city where something like that is available, I say check it out and get involved, because not only is it just like a great way to see movies like this, there's also a community aspect involved that I think is really awesome. But if you live somewhere where something like that isn't available, and you want to broaden your horizons and watch more foreign and indie films, I would say check out streaming services like the Criterion Channel, Mubi, or Canopy. You can find some really great stuff on there that could honestly be like life-changing movies for you. So yeah, I say do that if you can, because if you're not, you're missing out on a lot of great stuff. My name is Cody Metcalf. Thank you for watching.